Discbound notebooks and ring binders actually solve the same problem: how to make your notes flexible so you can rearrange, remove, and reorganize pages. But they do it in completely different ways, and those structural differences start to matter more and more in everyday use. So in this video, we are going to break them down based on a few key real-world experiences: flexibility and rearranging pages. Let's start with the most obvious differences: how you move pages around. One of the biggest advantages of Discbound is adjusting individual pages is incredibly easy. You can pull a page out, add one back in. No opening or closing anything. It's quick and intuitive. With a ring binder, there is an extra step: open the rings, insert or remove, close them again. Some people get around this by cutting the holes on ring binder pages so they can snap in and out like Discbound pages. But if you are moving a whole stack of pages, the situation flips. Say you have a stack of pages like this. With Discbound, removing them all at once can be a bit tricky. They tend to catch and you may need to take them out in batches. With a ring binder, it's straightforward. Open the rings and remove everything at once. So in general, if you are adjusting small amounts frequently, Discbound is faster. If we are restructuring larger sections, ring binders are more efficient. Paper durability. This is where the structural differences really shows. Discbound uses mushroom-shaped holes that snap onto the discs. Every time you insert, remove, or even flip pages, there is a bit of pressure and slight pulling on the whole area. Over time, that can lead to wear. There are two key factors here: paper thickness and how deep the punch is. The stem of the mushroom hole. A deeper punch tends to hold up better. For example, this is an 80 GSM insert with a relatively shallow punch. With more use, the holes loosen, and eventually pages may fall out. Standard printer paper is usually around this thickness. So if you are using Discbound, it's generally better to go a bit thicker. Now compared to a 120 GSM paper with a deeper punch, after multiple insertions and even 50-page flips, it still holds up well, though you may start to see some slight wear around the holes over time. With ring binders, the situation is different. Because of the circular hole and closed ring, pages rotate rather than being pulled, so there is very little stress on the holes during normal use. That said, if the rings don't close properly, pages can catch and get damaged. In practice, 100 GSM pages almost no visible wear after heavy use. Even thinner paper like 50 GSM still holds up well when flipping. So in general, with thicker paper, 120 GSM plus, both systems are durable. With thinner paper, Discbound wears faster, while ring binders are more stable for long-term use. Portability. This is something you may not notice at first, but it becomes clear over time. Discbound discs are exposed. Pulling the notebook out in a tight space can put stress on the pages. They can also press into or scratch other items. You can add covers or protection, but that reduces some of the folding advantage. Discbound setups also tend to be bulkier. They often benefit from thicker paper, and without a spine, they rely on covers or page volume for structure. With too few pages, a Discbound setup can feel kind of loose and floppy. Ring binders, the rings are protected inside the cover. Even with fewer papers, they stay stable. They can use thinner paper, making the setup lighter overall. So overall, ring binders tend to feel more stable and compact for everyday carry. Slim ring binders like Me Plus offer better portability and can fit into a pocket or a small shoulder bag. Writing experience. When it comes to writing, with Discbound, it lays completely flat. It can hold back 180 degrees, which is especially helpful if you are writing in tight spaces or holding the notebook. Reminders, many can lay flat. Some ring binders don't lay completely flat, especially when they include pockets or extra storage, and they generally don't fold back fully. That said, both systems share one limitation. There is still structure in the middle, and your hands will run into it. There are a few ways around this. Use smaller ring sizes for both systems. Rotate the notebook and write horizontally, or remove the pages before writing. In that cases, Discbound is more convenient, though ring binders can achieve something similar by modifying the holes. One thing people often overlook: if you use smaller rings around 11 to 16 mm, the writing experience on a ring binder improves significantly. Even without removing the pages, the interference becomes much less noticeable. This is also why some designs like Me Plus focus on smaller rings, to keep writing experience as clean as possible. So overall, Discbound offers better lay flat and flexibility, especially you like removing pages to write. But with smaller rings, ring binders can also feel very comfortable for everyday writing without removing pages. Final thoughts. There's no system that's universally better. It really depends on how you use it. If you adjust pages frequently and value flexibility, Discbound is more efficient. If you want your notes to last and handle frequent flipping, ring binders are more stable. If you care about portability and want good writing experience, a slim ring binder with smaller rings like Me Plus can be a good solution. Simply put, Discbound is designed for constant adjustment, flexible but less focused on long-term stability and portability. Ring binders are designed as a long-term system, more stable, more durable, and more versatile over time. And with slimmer ring binder, you start to get a balance between portability, writing comfort, and flexibility. Thank you so much for your time. That's all for today's video. See you next time.